Sophiatown, Johannesburg, Gauteng, South Africa. Sophiatown, or Triomf as it's also known, is a small area situated immediately west of the Johannesburg city centre. It's an old area and a historic area with a turbulent past, of which its history is briefly mentioned in the introductory slides to this video, although I purposefully never went into great detail, as the majority of information and media out there seems to focus mainly and quite frankly only on that. While today's Sophiatown, or Triomf, has become largely stereotyped as a poor white Afrikaans township, although it's also home to a plethora of other different groups and ethnicities. It has a general suburban feel to it, and is home to a large council estate and many suburban houses, flats and duplexes. It's a friendly area and a clean area, albeit suffering from elements of urban decay, drug elements, homelessness, unemployment, and many of the ills that you'll see in much of the world now under this current economic crisis. It's an area that's unknown even to many South Africans. And in this video, I hope to show you a side of South Africa that most visitors won't see, and that you certainly won't see from the tour bus. Whether this is due to being counter the current mainstream narrative, or simply due to being overlooked. I welcome you and invite you to take this tour with me as we explore another section of forgotten Johannesburg. Good morning. God bless. I'm here today in sunny Sophiatown on this cold Joburg morning outside the beautiful Greek Orthodox Church of Agios Anargiri, and just so happens to be located right across from this public housing development here in Sophiatown Park. And I figured, what better place and what better time to continue with my Forgotten Joburg series, which seems to have garnered a lot of views and a lot of likes, and is something that I personally really enjoyed doing. So yeah, I invite you to join me on this journey through Sophiatown and through the neighborhoods of Johannesburg, and let's see what we can see. God bless. So here I am at Sophiatown Park, also known as Sophiatown Extreme Park for whatever reason. Actually, former council estate, former housing estate provided by the old government in the late 60s to early 70s, primarily for working class white Afrikaners. Of course, these days the demographic has changed quite a bit, but of course it still maintains most of its previous Afrikaans speaking character. And if you take a look around, you can see the flats are designed in the typical old red brick style that's very common throughout Joburg, consisting of both high-rise and low-rise buildings. Actually a very well-maintained area, and in my opinion, quite nice. So yeah, God willing, let's take a look around and see what we can see. Just tell me about Triomf, man.
Most people ask about Triomf, and I am Triomf.
Let's see if we can take a look inside one of these historic buildings. Alright, so how's life in Triomf, man?
It's mixed. It's good. It's tricky. I mean, it's better than town, though. To be honest.
For sure.
There's a lot going on in town. So I think, CBD is a bit congested a little bit, but I mean, it depends, man. You can live pretty much anywhere, but Triomf is a bit mixed. I like the fact that there's a variety of people, characters, races, everything. So you can pretty much stay here, man. It's not too bad. It's closer to Melville.
Yeah.
It's closer to UJ, the school. It's closer to Northcliffe, the north. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's like in the middle, but not really. So it's not a bad space to be at. Not so much of the bad side. I mean, it's pretty regulated. I mean, if you look around, there's not a lot of like waste around.
That's clean. Yeah.
There's not a lot of vendors. Like there's people who make sure that the space is like maintained. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
So
for sure,
I
man.
like that about the space. It's quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, man. You can find our music on Apple Music, Spotify, and YouTube, everywhere, literally everywhere. Archbishops is the name.
Archbishops,
Halo
I like that.
Yagami, Hurricane Dan Fisher, and Docs the Maverick. That's the family.
Oh, sweet, man. Hey, what's your name, dog?
I'm Docs the Maverick.
Docs the Maverick. That's a cool name, man. That's a cool name. And yourself, brother?
Hurricane Dan Fisher.
Here we have Sophiatown Niederduitse Gemeentekerk, or NG Kerk, or the Dutch Reformed Church, as it is said in English. And this is actually very close to the Orthodox Church where we started our journey at. Of course, one can immediately notice the difference in architecture. Of course, the Orthodox Church having more of a classical architecture, and the NG Kerk having more of a modernist sort of Bauhaus architecture. Of course, I definitely prefer the architecture of the Orthodox Church, but on the block we still pray. And of course, that's not a call to ecumenism at all. And if you look around, you can see this nice little kids play area here. It's very nice to see, providing a nice sort of closed off kids play area. Like I said, it's actually quite a nice little council estate, and of course you want to see a nice closed off little kids play area like this, because like pretty much the rest of the world at the moment, South Africa and Joburg in particular is definitely been hit quite hard by the opiate crisis. So you really love to see these little pockets here of wholesome behavior and people thinking about the kids, keeping out undesirable elements, which of course you're going to find anywhere in Johannesburg, but some areas have a little bit more of a reputation than others for whatever reason, be it warranted or unwarranted. Take a look around. Tell me about Sophiatown, my brother.
Hi, Sophiatown is an old township which the old apartheid system taking place there. There's a place called what do you call it? Yeah, that place there. Hey, that place was full of memories. When I think of that place, unfortunately, that shop right there. Yeah, hey, that place makes big memories. You are the public house.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so it makes sense to me. When we grow up, we used to do things there, different things there, but now, as the time goes on, things changed.
Yes.
Things changed for the better.
Magambos. What's up, man?
Hey,
Put it up in the
good,
party,
man.
bro. You know what I mean? Trevor Hobbs holding there, right there. Mandela. So that was the plan. So that's what Trevor Hobbs did. So what he did, he had to actually artists emancipated the whole country. You know what I mean? They created a play. It was called King Kong, and that's how
they could design a system to smuggle people out of the country because the borders were closed. You know what I mean? Yeah, but we made it. You know what I mean? So we come from that background, so we strong.
Yeah.
So other than that, it's all
God
good.
bless, man.
Yo,
God bless, man.
guys, do whatever that you gotta do, Russ, né? But yo, I need to share that content with this young man here.
No, for sure. dog.
Rastafari.
I appreciate that, man. Peace. Yeah, so moved out to some of the single standing suburban houses out here, and if you take a look around and you're familiar with Joburg in any way, one of the first things that you're going to notice is not too many high walls or electric fences, which is actually quite nice. Creates somewhat of a sense of community, and I think is a reflection on the general safety of the area. And yeah, very nice suburban style houses, somewhat affordable in this day and age. Of course, that's you know, that's all very subjective at the end of the day, but in this day and age where the government constantly bleeds us with taxation, with of course nothing to show for it, and of course inflation keeps increasing while salaries and house prices stay the same, it's that's a nice thing to see, and definitely a nice little area. Sophiatown police flats, this huge imposing building overlooking the whole area, actually on top of a hill, so overlooking all of western Joburg, and one might immediately notice some similarities between this building and the Norwood police flats that are highlighted in my little Orange Grove documentary, except honestly, in my opinion, I believe this building to be a lot more imposing and of brutalist style, and one actually comes to notice that Joburg has a lot of very brutalist and Soviet inspired architecture throughout the city. Yeah, so I would say that probably concludes my short little video here in Triomf. I hope that you enjoyed. I showed you some of the sights, some of the sounds. I introduced you to some of the people that were kind enough and blessed enough to let me talk with them and put them on camera. Otherwise, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and all of the things that YouTubers, in fact, tell you to do. And until next time, go with God and stay blessed. Duke of Johannesburg out.